So I'm starting with my fabric on a fold. This is my fabric on a fold, and the first thing I went ahead to do was I came down by 1 inch to draw my starting line. Okay, so now after coming down by 1 inch to draw my starting line, the next thing I went ahead to do was to connect the markings together. So for my crouch point, I came down by 11 inches. Okay, so I came down by 11 inches and I connected my markings with a straight line. If you don't know how to calculate your crouch point, I have a detailed video. The link will be in the comment section or description box. So I tagged that place crouch point. So for my hip point, from that my starting line, I came down by 8 inches, and that is my hip line. Okay, so I just marked my hip line and I tagged it hip line. Okay, so now from the top I came down by 20 inches and marked my nail length. Mind you, these are actually not my measurements. I'm sewing this trouser for a client. Okay, so these are her measurements that I'm using for this video. So if I'm saying mine, just know that it's for my client. I'm used to saying mine because I sew for myself a lot. Okay, so now from the middle I went ahead to mark circumference of her hips divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches. So you now are going to mark circumference of your hips divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches, and you're going to take the measurement at the top and at your crouch line, and you're going to connect everything together. So for my crouch curve, I marked 3.7 inches. Okay, if you don't know how to calculate crouch curve, I have a detailed video. Check the description box or comment section. Okay, so now I just went ahead to insert the crouch curve, and yes, that's my baby in action. So after inserting the crouch curve, the next thing I went ahead to do is at my crouch line, I took the distance between those 2 points. Okay, I took the distance between the 2 points and I marked the middle. Okay, I marked the middle. So now at my knee length, the distance between these 2 points is still maintained, right? And I also marked the middle. Okay, so now after marking the middle, I went to my knee length. I also marked the middle. That middle will stay marking from the crouch point. You're going to mark it all the way to your hem. And after doing all this, I just went ahead to connect all my markings with a straight line. Okay, so now at my knee point, you see where this crouch curve stopped at that my crouch line. You're going to also mark that point at the knee length. Okay, so from that point, you're going to come in by 2.5 inches, which is what I did here. I came in by 2.5 inches. After coming in by 2.5 inches, in the middle, I came in by 1 inch. Okay, so now after coming in by 1 inch, the next thing I went ahead to do is at the hem, I came in by 1.5 inch. Okay, I came in by 1.5 inch. We're trying to taper the end of this trouser. So after coming in by 1.5 inch, you see the distance between these 2 points, right? Those two lines, the distance between those 2 points. At the hem, you're going to step it down by 1 inch. So I stepped it down by 1 inch and I marked whatever my measurement is there. Okay, so now after doing all this, I just went ahead to connect all my markings together. Okay, so now after connecting my markings together, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to take your time because this is what will make or break your trouser. Okay, so after connecting my markings together, this is what we have here. That's for the inner, for the inseam. After connecting, this is what we have here. Now for the middle, this is what we are working with now. Okay, if I sound stuffy, you guys are half free. Okay, so now from the middle, wherever I'm going to mark my waist measurement, this trouser is not going to have a dart. So my waist measurement plus 1.5 inch, which is sewing allowance. Okay, I marked it there. So after marking it there, the next not 1.5 inch plus 2.5 inches. Okay, my waist measurement plus 2.5 inches, I marked it. After marking it, I connected it to my hip point. Okay, so after connecting to my hip point, you see that place where I took my waist measurement, I extended the line upward. Okay, so now the next thing I went ahead to do is, you know that our dart placement is always at 4 inches depending on your nipple to nipple measurement, right? So I marked mine. I marked 4 inches here. Whatever your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 is, you're going to mark that point there. Okay, so after marking it, I just went ahead to slant it upwards, because you guys know that our waist is not exactly straight, so we're trying to curve our waistline here. So this is what we have here for the front part. Very simple, very straightforward. The next thing I went ahead to do was to cut it out. To think that I used to have issues with cutting a trouser for a long time, and the moment I figured out the easiest way to cut it, it has just been easy. I recently made about 2 or 3 trousers for a client, and she loved everything. So you guys, your method of cutting trouser is very important. A trouser class will be coming up very soon, so keep your eyes open for it. So after cutting out all the pieces I didn't want, this is what the front part looks like. So it's time to cut the back part, and just like the front part, it's on a fold. Okay, it's on a fold. So now I just grab the front part. After grabbing the front part, I placed it on the back part, and you see that my crouch point, my crouch line, my knee line, I went ahead to, to transfer it to the back part. Okay, you see all the lines I'm transferring back. So now I folded the front part, and at my waistline I came in by 1.5 inch and I drew a straight line. Okay, so now after coming in by 1.5 inch and I drew a straight line, you see the middle point there, right? You're just going to mark it. So now after marking it, the next thing I went ahead to do was to extend my crouch curve by 1.5 inch. So after extending my crouch curve by 1.5 inch, at my knee line, you're going to extend it as well by 1.5 inch. At the hem and other parts of the inseam, you're also going to extend it by 1.5 inch. Okay. Some people, I notice that when they want to do this extension, they don't mark it, but me, I try to get like an approximate measurement, a definite measurement. So I take 1.5 inch throughout the entire inseam of the back part. Okay, depending on who I'm cutting for and who I'm sewing for. This person I'm sewing for, she has hip 42. Okay, so now I just went ahead to connect all my markings together for the inseam, and for the back, the next thing I went ahead to do was to flip over the front part, and I just went ahead to connect the back. You will notice that the crouch curve, right? The crouch line for the front and back is not exactly straight. The back is a little bit slanted. The front is more of straight. Okay, so I just went ahead to insert my crouch curve for the back. After inserting the crouch curve for the back, this is what we have here. So now the next thing I went ahead to do was to, we came in by 1.5 inch. So that initial line, we don't need it anymore. I went ahead to erase it. So at that point, we're going to go up by 1.5 inch. So the distance there is already 1.5 inch. So at the hem, remember we came in by 1.5 inch. Okay. So now we're going to add that 1.5 inch back, but we're going to add 1 extra inch for that because the back has a dart. So I went ahead to mark 2.5 inches. Okay. So now after marking 2.5 inches, the next thing I went ahead to do was to connect it to my hip point. Okay, I just went ahead to connect it to my hip point. So now after connecting it to my hip point, I drew a straight line there, because remember for the front we came up by 1 inch. So I wanted to make sure that that part there is 1 inch. Okay, so here now is 1 inch, and that 1.5 inch mark at that point, I'm just going to connect it to the 1 inch mark that's at the extreme. Okay, so after slanting everything in, this is what we have here. The next thing I just went ahead to do was to cut it out. Very simple, very straightforward. Also, make sure you verify your measurement, ladies and gentlemen, before you cut. Something I always do is calculate out all my measurements and allowance before I start cutting my trouser, so I don't start doing guessing game when I'm cutting. So this is what the front and back part looks like. You can see I was still verifying my measurement again, as if it will even save anything, but I was just verifying so that the premium tiers will start now. So now for the pocket, I went ahead to cut. This fabric is on a fold. I went ahead to cut the length at 10 I think about 10 inches. You can extend yours to around 12 inches, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, because this person was wearing hers on like her stomach. So the width is 8 inches, the length is 10 inches. Okay, so you can make yours as long and as wide as you want. Okay, so just make sure that you make your length, your width and your length like 10 inches here, because I had to like cut another piece. Okay, so make the length of yours to be like 11 inches, then the width can be like 10 inches. Okay, so now it's time to sew. And for the front part, I'm just going to join it on the crouch line. Also for the back part, I joined it at the crouch line. So I took it over to my industrial machine and I joined it at the crouch line. You guys, You know, because I had a baby, I couldn't sew with my industrial machine. But the moment I started sewing in this industrial machine, to sew with my domestic machine is like punishment for me. So now, after joining the front and the back part at the crouch line, the next thing I went ahead to do was to mark my dart at the back part. Remember, the back part has a dart, okay? So I marked the dart on both sides of the back part. If you don't know how to mark a dart, if you don't know how to sew a dart, I have a beginner class. My WhatsApp number is at the end of this video. So you want to chat me up on WhatsApp so I can add you to the class. Once you make payment, you'll be added to the class. So I picked my dart for the both sides of the trouser. Darts, they give shape to your outfit. You can't do without them, okay? So I just went ahead to sew the second side of the trouser, the dart on the second side of the trouser. So after sewing the dart on the second side of the trouser, this is what we have here. Very beautiful. It's giving clean girl era. Okay, so now for the front part, I went ahead to insert my fly zipper or fly zip, whatever you want to call it. If you don't know how to sew it, a detailed tutorial will be coming up immediately after this particular tutorial, like the next day. So keep your eyes open for that. So now it's time to insert our pocket. So from the middle, I went ahead to mark my waist measurement, which is 8 inches. So after marking 8 inches, I came in by 2.5 inches. Okay, I came in by 2.5 inches. You can do 2 inches. Okay, so now after coming in by 2.5 inches, I came down. Now here I marked 6 inches, which was wrong. I had to correct it. Come down by at least 8 or 9 inches. Okay, so after I came down by at least 8 or 9 inches, I went ahead to slant, to connect all my markings together with a slanted line. Okay. So this is what we have here. So what I did for here, you also do it for the second side. See, you don't have to do them individually, okay? But if you want to do them together, make sure that you've not inserted your zip before you do it, because by the time you've inserted your zip, it will put a little bit of error. So that's why it looks as if I'm doing them separately, okay? So make sure that you come down by at least 8 or 9 inches. That 6.5 inches I marked was wrong. I had to correct it, okay? So I just went ahead to connect it with a slanted line. This is what we have here. Okay, this is what it's looking like for the pocket. It's looking ugly right now, but it's going to come together. Okay, so now the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut it out. Now when you cut it out, don't throw away that pieces. Keep it. Me, I don't like to stress myself when it comes to sewing. So there are some things I don't like to do calculations in. So you have to keep it. So now after keeping it, just keep it somewhere, maybe in your drawer or something. See that fabric we cut, you're going to place it like this, right sides facing each other. Okay, right sides facing each other, and you're going to turn it over. You're going to turn that pocket line over. So I just took it over to my sewing machine. I was showing you guys again. I held it down with my office pin. You see that slanted line? We're going to join it on the slanted line. Okay, we're going to join it on the slanted line, turn it over, and we're going to give it a good top stitch. So I just went ahead to attach it together with running stitches, which is straight stitch. I'm just trying to speak in very beautiful terminologies for you guys. So after joining two pieces together, I went ahead to cut out that part we did not need. Okay, so after cutting it out, I flipped it over and I went ahead to top stitch. You guys, when I was sewing this outfit, it showed me pepe, because the front side is not as beautiful as the back side. So every time I kept confusing myself, like, is this the front, is this the back? Next time I will just sew with the back, so I don't have to keep bothering myself. Okay, so now after top stitching, this is what we have here. So you're just going to fold it. You see why I said that when you are doing your own, let it be up to like, on a fold, let the width be up to like 10 or 11. So you have plenty to fold in. Okay, so now after folding, this is what we have here. You're just going to seal the end of the pocket. So I took it out to my sewing machine. I'm still in my sewing machine. I did not go anywhere. I went ahead to seal it. After sealing it, this is what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. So now you see that pocket part I say you should not throw away. This is where you now bring it and place it. Let it just be touching the beginning of the pocket. Let it not enter inside the pocket too. Let's just be touching the beginning of the pocket. Okay, make sure it's well aligned. After that, the next thing you're going to go ahead to do is to trim. Okay, some people don't do this part. They just go ahead to fix it up with the back part, but me, I don't like to stress myself to start gauging for it to align well. So I just trim and make sure everything is put together. So after that, I just went ahead to top stitch the top and the side of the pocket so it doesn't move around. Okay, so I did same thing for the other pocket. And this is what we have here for the pocket of the front part. Very simple, very straightforward. There's no plenty talk. You can see I was already putting my hand inside the pocket already. Okay, so now the next thing I went ahead to do was to align the inseam of the front part of this trouser and the back part of this trouser. I went ahead to align the inseam. You want to make sure that the middle of the trouser, the middle of the front and the middle of the back is well secured with your office pin. Those of you that are still sewing without office pins, you need gel tape. Anyways, after aligning it together with my office pin, I was just showing you guys that you're going to join it across the entire inseam. Okay, so you want to take your time. I like to join from middle to end and end to middle, so that sometimes when you join end to end, the thing tends to shift. So I just joined the middle to end. Okay, and I joined end to middle. So after joining, you want to make sure you give it a good press so that it's well relaxed. Okay, so after giving it a good press, I went ahead to mark out my waist measurement, hips measurement, the client's waist, hips measurement, and all those things, and I connected all my markings together. And the next thing I went ahead to do was to take it over to my sewing machine and join the front part of this trouser and the back part of this trouser. To think that I used to be so afraid to sew trousers. You guys, God is good. Anyways, I also went ahead to turn over the hemline of this trouser. You guys know how to do this one. I don't have to show you how to do it. So now for my band, the width of this fabric is 3 inches. So on a fold is 1.5 inch. I went ahead to put my forcible interface and weaved one side. You see how I'm placing the band on the waistline. That's how you are going to place your own. Okay, so after placing it, I just went ahead to attach the band to the waistline. Okay, now I did not calculate the length of my trouser with the band because the band is just like 1.5 inch, and personally I don't like to calculate if it's around 1.5 inch because I wear my trouser on my stomach. I don't wear low waist. Okay, so I just went ahead to attach the band to the trouser, and also because I always curve the waistline of my trousers, the band naturally sits well on the waistline. So after getting to the hem, see how I'm going to fold it. That is how you are going to fold your own. Not the hem, the end, the other end of the trouser. See how I the other end of the waist. See how I folded the band. That is how you are going to fold your own. Okay, so now after folding it, I took it back to my sewing machine and just went ahead. You can see that the one I attached to the band, the side attached to the band there, the hemline is folded, while the one that is not attached is not folded. Okay, I cut out the excess, I turned it over, and the next thing I went ahead to do was to top stitch. Now this is where the beauty of this waistline comes out. You want to make sure your stitches are straight, they are not crooked, and they look put together, look nice. It's not looking like where two people fought. Okay, so you want to make sure you give it a good top stitch till you get to the end. Okay, and also give it a very good back stitch to secure your stitches. So now after sewing this trouser, this is what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. And of course I didn't wear it because, like I told you, it's for a client. And if you want me to make an outfit for you, just chat me up on the WhatsApp number on your screen right now. It's going to show at the end of this video. Look at what the pocket looks like. I went ahead to hold it down with some top stitch so it doesn't move around at the top and by the side. And this is what the fly zipper looks like. It looks very beautiful. And also this is what the other side looks like. This is a very cute trouser. My client loved it. She told me she loved it. Anyways, you guys, this is the simplest way to cut and sew your trouser with front pocket. Okay, if you're a beginner and you don't know how to cut and sew, I have 2 classes that you can join. Chat me up on the WhatsApp number to join the class, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.